guys? Yuginono here with Team APS and Team King of Games, and we're going to be talking about the Shreveport Regionals that we just walked out of. We're going to be talking to you guys about not only hand trap format or whatever people are even calling this right now, but we're going to be talking about the potential of rogue decks and everything, and how good card choices the rogue players have made today and have been making, as well as how Yugioh cards have gotten more powerful themselves over time, have allowed rogue players and more and more rogue players to be able to top events and stuff, which is exactly what happened today. There were, like I said a second ago,
it was more rogue than it was meta.
Yeah,
I was really happy.
It was a very diverse, very diverse day. So let's start off with I feel like So
this was a pretty fun regional in that regard. I would say that there were a lot of interesting decks. I mean, I heard people were losing to Dark Magician and Rockets and things.
Yes.
But there was also a True Draco Invoked, Paleos, Trick Stars. Not everybody likes those decks, but they were there. And it wasn't entirely Spiral, so that was a nice sort of breath of fresh air, I think.
Yeah, the Magicians did. The Magicians, surprisingly, I guess not that surprisingly, seeing as how consistent they are, but Magicians, there's a lot of Magician players today.
There's a higher representation of them than it was Trick Stars. I was surprised.
And
Trick Star haters out there.
Oh my gosh. Well, Baron, my friend Baron topped with Trick Stars like that. Go second. He's playing Go Second Trick Stars. I want to talk about more the hand traps. So Trick Stars, Trick Stars suck to play against, but they're not unbeatable. You know what I mean? And they're not as unbeatable as Chainburn. They're not as annoying as Chainburn to me, because they're more beatable than Chainburn to me. So I don't really mind Trick Stars. People hate Trick Stars, and I make fun of Trick Stars.
I feel like they play more like a normal deck does, so I think that makes them more
It's a really
tolerable.
simple, also mechanic too. It's not a very complicated plan ahead kind of deck. It's more or less summon, set, pass, hand trap your life.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
that makes sense. But I want to talk more about Ash Blossom. I want to start with Ash Blossom. And kind of work our way through different hand traps, because I can tell you right now, Ash Blossom and Droll and Lockbird, not only are they really good in this format, but they're really necessary to keep to be able to play Yu-Gi-Oh!
The world in balance.
We were talking about this.
That's how you dick check everybody.
Yeah, we were just talking about how even though if you go first and you open the nuts and get hand traps on top of it, it's even it's even crazier, and you just win it even harder. Even though that happens, they are this necessary evil, because imagine not having anything at all to do when your opponent's just going off and making this broken, insane board. Imagine not having Maxi, imagine not having anything. Hand traps are very necessary. And what's really cool is now that we're hand trap battling, because hand traps are so prevalent, we can have almost these hand trap battles, people playing what's the card? The Gamma,
Gamma. I really think Gamma, it's not only just a hand trap, but if you really do hate hand traps, that's a protection. That's a form of protection that you can incorporate into your deck, especially if you have a small compact engine. You have space for extra cards. More or less, if your deck doesn't need to open with the normal summon and you have Gamma, Gamma, it helps you out in that hand trap battle. It really makes things a lot more fair. It's resolving the card is a blowout, man. And it I know Paul doesn't really like hand traps, and everybody's opinion is different, but I really feel he said, it's a necessary evil, and at the same time, it makes it 100% fair. It's he just said, imagine going second and you have no form of disruption or interference, so they're my combo is 100% complete. You have 6 cards, go.
And you can make the argument, you can be salty about it and make the argument well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Shouldn't be like that. And you might be right? But Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like this, though.
Yeah, dude, if you play, you have to adapt. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you want to play old school Yu-Gi-Oh! I play a lot of old formats. There's no shame in playing old formats. Sam's been playing Goats all day because he's scrubbed out, He's been playing Goats all day. There's nothing wrong with playing old formats. But the point is, if you're going to play modern format, and you seriously want to top, and you really want to top, it's something that you want to do, then you kind of have to get with the program, you know what I mean? You have to really study what people are playing and make good card choices. Look at what other people are playing, and then make better card choices than the people around you. Not only that, but study what everybody, how they play, what cards to stop if you have, any sort of negations, you know what I mean? If you are playing hand traps and stuff, know what to stop, what to ash, and all that stuff. It's very important.
Preemptive hand traps are the worst thing to do, bro. When you're just throwing it away just because you see a card that can be used on, it's dude, you're getting like minimal to like little.
Yeah, like you use Nash on a terraforming when they already have the field spell in hand. Now they're gonna just that was the bait and you took it, and now they're gonna fucking stomp your ass. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
But outside of that, you know, also like the way the meta shaped out to be, this reminds me of how it was maybe like 2 years ago. If y'all remember when it was like Ritual Beasts, Burning Abyss, Necros, Shadows, and Cleaforts, and there were still rogue decks like Satella Knights. There was like a lot of diversity. You know, this format kind of reminds me of it. It's not as similar, but you know, like, I think hand traps in correlation with every deck makes like every single rogue deck competitive. So like everybody has a chance, you know, to get their invite. You know, a lot of like casual players are like, dude, I hate Yu-Gi-Oh. You know, I don't want to play. You know, like even telling us like stuff in our comment section, like, is there a substitute for hand traps? You have to make the sacrifice if you really do want to play, because in correlation with your deck, dude, you can play on a competitive scale no matter what deck you're running simply by having hand traps in the main deck. And like what we saw all day, like Paul saw Dark Magicians, like Yuginono probably saw like every rogue deck under the sun. Like rogues were topping, you know, and like rogue is like, oh, bad, not skillful. It takes a lot more skill to top with rogue than it does with meta. Exactly.
It does, because
so it says a lot about you as a player.
It does, because what that means, like if you top with rogue, it means that you looked at what everyone else is playing and you made like perfect, impeccable card choices and played on point. Both. You accomplished both to top, really. I mean, there's no one who tops with rogue, especially these days. Especially these days with how fast Yu-Gi-Oh is. You know, with
nobody's ever ready for it.
Side decks for rogue. Exactly. Like, there's no way that you top with rogue these days and be a bad player. It's impossible. It's impossible for you to be a terrible player and top with rogue. Like, if you top with rogue, you're good. That's why you see, you know, so many like, you know, players that already have their invite and stuff. They'll like build, you know, something crazy like spell books or whatever, and like take it and like top with it. It's like, well, yeah, you can. These decks can work and they can win. There's a reason why these good players are winning with them and stuff. It's because they are playable. Very, very playable. It's not helpless. You can play rogue. I mean, not just this regional, but every single Tulsa regional is really
seriously, dude. Like, I've seen some far out decks
come out Tulsa regionals.
I saw like a Shed All Dino 60 card Sure Night deck. I'm like, that's innovation.
You know what? And it makes me salty because that's in my backyard, and I can't top in Tulsa unless I'm playing meta. I can't. It's in my backyard. I can't do it. If I'm not playing meta, I can't do it.
I feel bad. So yeah, we really did want to give you guys, you know, a glimmer of hope, because I honestly think like a majority of the viewers that watch our channel honestly are either A, casual players, or B, people who feel like competitive Yu-Gi-Oh is not necessary and it's not always fun. And like, I feel like personally this meta is really, really fun and not only diverse, but like, dude, like this is the time, like this is your one and only chance to take the deck you've been wanting to like give it a chance to shine and pilot that deck. It's like, it's not really the deck, it's always the player, dude. Like if you saw somebody top with rogue, obviously their deck was an autopilot. Like, you know, they knew what they were doing, like they were on point with their choices. So like, to all of you guys that are watching, just understand, you know, yeah, it could be viewed as hand trap format, but like, look at how fun it really is. Like, look at how all these decks that aren't even savage are savaging people because they have hand traps. Like, it's a balance. Like, even with evenly matched, you know, cards that seem like they're not one-for-one exchanges, one could say, oh, it's not fair that this dude has it, but you can run the card too. There's no, like, there's no specific integration you need for your deck to run the card. Like, you know, it's a completely diverse. And also, one could say just generic card to begin with.
Yes, that's really
like they're all, any deck can run them, you know. Like we saw Rogue topping, dude. I was hyped. I'm like, dude, I have to let the world know, like Rogue is back, man. I love Rogue. Like, dude, you guys, if you watch my channel, you know I love Rogue like the most. Like, dude, my boy Yuginono ran Hero to perfection today. It made me like almost break out into tears. I'm like, oh my god, like somebody actually like. I feel like, dude, somebody likes this deck aside from me. Oh my god.
And I can pilot the deck really, really well. And the deck, and then there's some decks where like, you know, the deck's the deck. You know what I mean? And I think we need to, like, most of what you said is like accurate. Like everything we've said is accurate. But I want to put a note here, okay? Like you can't. I mean, like you can't top with just like vanilla monster beatdown turbo, okay? Like we're not going that far. Okay?
No,
but we're saying if you have like a decently modern deck and you are really well, you know, if the deck can combo, if it can make boards that, you know, that enable win conditions. That
if we had to leave the viewers with one sentence, a takeaway from this regional and this video, what would your sentence be? What I'm going to take away from all of this, you know?
Like just one sentence. Hand traps are necessary, and rogue is viable.
I'll definitely say, now's your chance. Now's your chance to get your invite. Don't be afraid of what's out there. Understand that Konami has printed these cards for a reason and they're accessible to you. So take the time out of your day, you know, save up some money, get you a nice decent deck, and just make sure that you can incorporate
Treat yourself.
Exactly.
Treat yourself.
So like, you have a chance. Hey, go for it.
Wait, what's your sentence? What do you think? Yeah, so you think
Yu-Gi-Oh's fun.
Yu-Gi-Oh's fun?
Yeah. It's alright. Play what you want, it'll be fine.
Man,
5 sentences.
I don't think you had a very good day.
I'm just tired.
Okay.
Yeah, we can see it, bro. We'd like to say thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Can I say it? Can I say it?
Go for it, bro.
Alright. Slap that like button and subscribe.